Hello, welcome to another Dark Mushroom Media live cast. We're on 7, Gene, I think? Something like that.
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
Okay. And with me is Polymer and Jose. And we are going to be discussing games and whatnots. I'm going to start us off with new releases. I have to say, as far as the past couple weeks go, it's been pretty fucking fantastic for me. Like, this is probably the best month of new releases, or at least new releases and early access releases anyway, this year. With the likes of, Killing Floor, Trine, there's a bunch of shit this week, new Wolfenstein expansion next week. Very, very happy about all this. But I'm going to start us off with the game that both me and Palmer have played by the name of Verdun, which has been in early access for about a year now and came out today. Or was it Tuesday? It came out this week.
You're gonna lead the charge on this one, man, because I have.
Yeah, even I only... Like, me and Palmer played it for a couple of, like, an hour or so, a long while back, and it was very rough around the edges. The engine was... everything was just a bit rough, graphically and gameplay-wise, but the developers have really been good with the updates. Every, like, couple months or so, I'd pop on for 20 minutes and just see how it's improved. And now at launch, it's pretty fucking fun, but I will say right now, it's kind of... The community itself is very strange, because there are people just coming into it because it just released. And there are, veterans that have been playing this game for fucking almost a year, even longer. Even, I think, 2, possibly, because this ran on for a while. But, so yeah, it's just a fucking killing field right now. Like, it is supposed to be a killing field. It's a World War I game. You're supposed to run out of the trench and get fucking mowed down or mow the people down. Yeah, mustard gas. Just, people don't know, like, what the gas mask button and are asking in all chat is they just get, like, run into clouds and just drop dead instantly. It's fucking... It's something, boys, but
that was incredible.
Yeah, right now it's a bit fucky, but gameplay-wise, it's very stable. It's very fun. It looks a lot better than it did when me and Palmer first got on it. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. And the developers have put out a roadmap for themselves for the next, I guess, year or so. I don't know, however long. It's basically just a roadmap of free expansions they're going to be doing, where they're adding in new fractions, new maps, yada yada yada. And it's all going to be free, no DLC bullshit. So very happy with that. Very happy the game seems to be doing well. And yeah, I'm happy this game is finally out of early access and is worthy of being out of early access in a full release. So
cool. Yeah, man, we're gonna have to jump in on that. Maybe.
It's something people like. It's like a $20. It's like a $20 price point, but it's definitely something to keep your eyes on for like the summer sale in the next couple months, 2 or 3 months or whatever. Just because last summer sale was when me and Palmer picked it up and it was at a good price. So keep your eyes on that. State of Decay, like Year 1 Survival Editions, I guess what they're going with, or the Day 1 edition of that. Basically,
do we really need another release of this fucking game? Like, honestly.
Yeah, it looks much better. It looks much better.
Yeah, but does that really justify buying it again? Like, for somebody that's already played it?
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
I have never played it. I've heard a lot of awesome stuff about it. I am super excited for this game.
Yeah, honestly, this is probably the best starting point for people who did own the game, just because the higher resolution. They didn't really add much content. Like, the game itself is kind of getting bashed on Steam page because people were like, it's... I think if you own the original State of Decay, you get a character, and then like if you buy it within the next few months or some timeline like that, you get a few skins. But basically, it's just there's a couple more characters, a couple more skins aside from all that stuff. It's not really a whole lot of content. It's just higher resolution, and the game like didn't look. It came out 2 years ago, but it just didn't look good. It wasn't, it didn't look very sharp.
It seems like they did quite a bit, but right? Like the page itself, it says like it has new animations. It has
there's a few
lighting.
new things like there's new little mechanical things like that, but it's not like if it's some. I don't know. It's not very. You have to keep in mind, this came out 2 years ago. The big thing is just it just looks much better, because it looked like shit. Like, even maxed out, the old game, it just didn't look very good. It's fun. Like, it's stupid fun. It just didn't look very good. And now it looks much sharper. It's much cleaner and prettier. The cocks have apparently been taken out of the mountains, which were there, because that was a fucking thing.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, as far as content-wise go, there's not much here. And it's getting kind of bashed on Steam for that. But the developers have been pretty outright in saying, like, hey, we're not, there's a few new things, but it's the same game, just new coat of paint, which I'm okay with, because it was one of those games I could have finished, and I've put enough time into it where I would have finished it, but I just like fucking got stuck in one neighborhood, and I had to loot every house, and I had to recruit everyone, and then I had to kill this guy because he got infected. It's just one of those games that can kind of never end. So I never actually got around to beating it, so it's another reason why I'm happy to trot through it again. And I think, I think for the next month and a half, if you own the original, you get like a 33% discount off it. And I think, again, it's a $30 price point. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, that'll go down real quick. Though.
Yeah, like the game itself is $20. So yeah, I mean it's a good. I don't like that it has fucking 80 titles in its title, but you know it's good. It's literally right now. If you go to the Steam page, it's State of Decay Year One Survival Edition, Day One Edition. Like what?
At least it's not. What the hell was the re-release of like
It's called State of Decay. Right?
What was it? What was the game in the mall?
Dead Rising?
Yeah, that like Dead Rising like Super EX like 30 that literally had like 30 fucking words in its name.
Yeah.
At least it's not one of those. What the hell was the full name of that game? God.
Which Dead Rising was it?
It was the DLC for the third one.
Oh,
that came out
Frank West, like Off the Road or Off the.
No. It's like the one with Street Fighter characters.
Yeah.
And the weird mini games.
Okay, it's called Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Addiction EX Plus Alpha.
Yeah, that might beat the fucking State of Decay name. I'll give you that.
Whatever, man. That was a joke. It's funny.
But what else? Shadowrun Chronicles, which I got a lot of mixed feelings on this game. I'm honestly really surprised that this game is receiving mostly positive reviews on Steam. Like when Shadowrun, what the fuck was the first Shadowrun called? Returns. Shadowrun Returns came out in 2013. They did an expansion. It turned into a standalone expansion, and they were both pretty successful considering they were pretty mobile games, really. But they were pretty successful, and then people were clamoring for like an MMO type game with this type of gameplay. Or at least a lot of the people who like supported the game early on, like Kickstarted it and all that. That's what they said, like, all right, you did this, now do this. So that's basically what this is. I mean, it's not even. I mean, it's kind of MMO-esque, but really, it's more instances than like a giant thing world.
Pretty MMO-esque. Like,
yeah, but I mean, it's more instances than like a living, breathing world or something like that.
But like, part of what made like Shadowrun Returns like good was the fact that it was like a really immersive world. There was tons of character. Like, you know, it was a proper like, you know, turn-based strategy game. And this one just feels like it's like generic fucking quest after generic fucking quest. There's no character really. Like the starting zone is so fucking boring.
Well, yeah, it's a starting zone.
Like,
it's like that's supposed to grab you, dude. I don't understand what like these MMO type of games like don't get. Like, you have to hook the player, and you gotta stop creating these really shitty fucking starting areas. Like it's awful, dude. Like, I don't know. Like I'm glad to see people are supporting it and stuff. I'm always glad to see people are supporting games, but that game is not Shadowrun. I don't think they should have slapped another title on that. I don't like. They
it's
just
very Shadow. No,
dude. They took the assets of Shadowrun.
The game looks shitty, but it's very Shadowrun.
It's awful.
The dialogue is very Shadowrun-y. Have you ever... Dialogue is generically cheesy and stupid Shadowrun. Everyone calls each other chummers and
I get all that. Like, I have no problem with the dialogue. What I'm talking about is the quest structure. Like, it's awful. It's awful, dude. Like, the first, like, 4 quests are all just, like, go do this and, like, kill these guys and then come back and talk to me and we'll be chummers together.
Yeah, that's every MMO. Like, what MMO doesn't?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so boring. Like, it sucks all the life out of it. I don't think you should have expected
a groundbreaking game from Shadowrun Online. Or not, Shadowrun Chronicles.
I wasn't expecting a groundbreaking game, but I wasn't expecting something that was going to, like, suck all the energy out of Shadowrun and just make it generic bullshit.
It has a Shadowrun atmosphere. The characters look shitty, but they look very Shadowrun-y. The dialogue is very Shadowrun-y.
We'll agree.
The quest system isn't... I'm not saying the quest system isn't dumb, but show me an MMO where it isn't just generic fetch quest or killing.
Once again, I'm criticizing MMOs like in a blanket statement here, but I was expecting more from this considering it's already got like such an established deep world. I don't know. It's just... It didn't impress me, and I've got to give it more time, obviously. Like... Well, yeah, that.
Now, is this a game that's like going into early access or like a full?
No, it just came out of early access.
Oh.
I will say that fucking when I first like got into this game around like January, it was nothing. Like there was really nothing there. It was like fucking maybe 7 hours worth of content. I think was what the popular runtime was. So they did add a lot of shit. I've only a little over an hour into it, so I don't know. But what bothers me is like it looks like Shadowrun Returns almost looks better than this, and this is
It
a new title.
absolutely looks better than
Like I don't understand how.
It looks like this was supposed to be on mobile platforms. That's what it
Yeah.
looks like to me.
Yeah.
It looks like Diablo 3 in terms of texture quality. It's awful.
I don't know. I'd have to say Diablo 3 probably looks a little bit sharper and cleaner than this.
It does, and that's saying something.
But yeah, it's just basically. I mean, it's for what people wanted though. It's just instance running, fucking turn-based Shadowrun goodness, and that's what this is. I don't know. I'm not
So they're
saying
just keeping with tradition of like rushed MMOs that come out every year.
it's not even MMO isn't really a proper title though.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like there are parts of the game where you're with, a bunch of other people, but most of the time you're just like looking for groups and doing quests with like.
Yeah, it's more running
4 people or
instances.
so.
Like you can use bots or like
It plays a lot like GTA Online.
or Guild Wars even. Like Guild Wars is a good.
Yeah, there's like
reference.
public open spaces, and then there's just like quests that you complete, and you look for groups to complete them.
Yeah.
And some quests allow you to hire mercenaries, to kind of like fill in slots, but I don't know. I've got to give it more time. I really haven't given it very much time so far. I think I'm at like 45 minutes or so. So I'm under like where you are, Tim. But I'm gonna keep playing it.
I don't think you'll get anything from this honestly. Unless like I'm really into Shadowrun, so I'm into this game, or I'm going to be playing it and putting time into it. But I honestly, if you're not like way into Shadowrun, I can't see the appeal of it. Like I can understand you're like I don't get why this is very good, or people are saying this is very good.
What's the connection between this game and that first-person online-only shooter?
Nothing.
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 That first-person
Everyone
online
in
only
completely,
Like everyone in the Shadowrun universe is just like
that game doesn't
off.
exist. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing. These aren't the fucking cats you were looking for.
So they distance themselves from the most fun game I've ever played in my entire life.
I like that game too. But that
Uninstalling,
statement's
installing
a
and
bit,
uninstalling.
that statement's a bit fucky, Jose. But I will say that game was stupid fun. We had some stupid fun times.
Oh god,
on
that
that
game
game.
was just something.
It was something. Yeah.
That was something, man. I expected
and
that to be
Perfect Dark.
something completely different. And then like PC players would just like own anybody on console because they
Yep.
could immediately shoot everything and just what a.
I remember how cool of a
terrible
concept that
experience.
was, being able to
It
play
was.
on the
It
360
was,
and
dude.
Xbox.
I was like,
or
oh my
Xbox
god, this is the future. And then I realized mouse and keyboard
mouse.
controls.
And paid to win bastards, man.
Even
Yeah,
with
dude.
aim assist?
Huh?
I guess that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Shadowrun game came out. Kind of, yeah. If you're into Shadowrun, it's worth looking into. If you don't know what the fuck we're talking about, don't even bother. That's basically my view on the game.
Pretty much, yeah.
What else we got? Elite Dangerous. I've mentioned before, and I've mentioned like I'm really looking forward to Star Citizen, and Elite Dangerous is kind of one of those games that's right up there as far as like competing for that whole space marine genre. And Elite Dangerous just feels a bit not empty, but it just feels a bit lacking. And this update kind of introduces like fighting for factions and like territory type of shit, and just that alone adds a lot to Elite Dangerous. Like instead of just being Euro Truck Simulator or fucking space bounty hunter person, you can actually like take part in these little skirmishes and like kind of shift the lines and balance of power and whatnot.
Have you jumped into any of these skirmishes yet?
These skirmishes? No, I don't even know if it patches up yet. Honestly.
Oh, okay.
I've been playing Star Citizen lately, just because the multiplayer kind of finally works on that. So it kind of works.
Kind
so now
of.
I can do it. Yeah. But yeah, this is something Elite Dangerous needed, and they're planning on doing more updates and stuff. But if Elite Dangerous wants to even still have a player base by like a year from now, when Star Citizen actually rolls out, they need to like be implementing these updates like desperately, because it's kind of popular now. But it's kind of popular now because it's the only one of the, like, what is it? Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, and what's the Star Conflict? No, there's a third game coming up. These are the big three titles. And Elite Dangerous is the one that's out, and it's getting like most of the attention it's going to get put on it. It's going to be now when it's out, and these others two games aren't really done. So they really need to keep adding these updates, keep the gameplay interesting, keep your shit fresh. Otherwise, it'll just fall off, and by the time these other two big space giants roll around, no one will really give a shit and play Elite Dangerous.
Whatever, dude. No Man's Sky or bust.
No Man's Sky, that's the third one.
Oh, is that the one you were talking about? Okay, I thought there was like some
those,
other
those,
third
those
one
are the
that I
big
didn't
three.
know.
No, those are the big three as far as the space marine genre goes.
No Man's Sky, dude. I have such high expectations for that game. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna end up being really disappointed by it too when it comes out because
I think anyone who has high expectations
beyond.
for any of these three games is going to be disappointed. I have no illusion that I'm going to be disappointed with Star Citizen. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Somehow Elite Dangerous will disappoint me, even though it's already out. Like, it's just going to happen.
All right, what else we have?
Star Wars mod that apparently it's never going to be because it stopped being.
Yeah. The Arma mod, yeah. Man.
It looks a lot like it looks much more fluid and nicer than I would have thought. Like when I first read, Star Wars Battlefront mod or a Star Wars mod in Arma 3. Like I pictured it being kind of janky and weird looking, but it actually it looks really nice. Like the animations are nice.
Dude, that video that I watched of an AT taking on a fucking helicopter and like a stormtrooper just standing on the sideline
shooting it to no avail.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, like that, I don't know. I hope that's something that continues to get made, in spite of whatever.
The guy stopped last year, and I'm sure if it actually
somebody needs to pick it up.
Yeah, but if someone actually start to gain ground, like Disney would show up and just kill their entire family.
Disney, whatever, dude.
Mickey Mouse just shanking that entire family. You want that blood on your hands?
Yeah, well, I don't want the blood on my hands. I want the modders' blood on my hands.
Wait, but historically, doesn't Star Wars and Lucas and I guess I don't know about Disney, but don't they just stay away from fan-made stuff? Don't they
Yeah, but now Disney owns it, and Disney's they don't fuck around. They will kill your children.
They did say they were going to leave everything alone.
I mean, has Disney come out and said anything about this mod so far?
No, well, this mod stopped being worked on fucking last year, so of course not.
Well then, yeah, what's the issue, dude? Somebody
else. The issue is if it gets really big and gets traction, then they will.
Wait, what about that Mass Effect mod?
Never know.
Mass Effect.
Where's that?
Mass Effect.
Wasn't there a big Mass Effect Arma 3 mod? Weren't we crying about it?
No, we were crying about what was the other Arma 3 mod? Halo.
The Halo one, yeah.
Oh, it was Halo.
That's ODST, to be specific.
Yeah, I feel like if that is okay, then I think they'll be okay with Star Wars. It'll be fine. Honestly, you can't stop modders.
They can't fucking get Star Wars right in an actual game lately. I don't see mods working it out. That's my take on it.
No, that's the sad part is I do. I think if we're gonna get a proper Star Wars game, it's gonna be because of a mod. Yeah.
I did recently see a Battlefield 2 mod I didn't know exists where you can where you go from space immediately to ground. You just basically go towards the planet and you just come up on this horrible texture and it gets blurrier and blurrier, and then when you go through it, you're on the ground and people are fighting on the ground. Because that's impossible to implement in current gen games. Way to go, EA. But that was I didn't know that existed, and apparently that's existed for a while. So just a fun little tidbit there. Speaking of EA, they're doing another. Well, I guess it's that time where they roll out a new what they call game on the house, which is basically go to Origin, get a free game. Past fucking half a dozen have been 20-year-old games, and surprise,
But they've been good.
It's still just fucking something in the past.
They have such an old
decades.
library or an extensive library rather that honestly some of the and if they continue to give away these good older games, I'm not against it.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there, Palmer.
Yeah. I don't really have a problem with it.
There's already a place you can get quality old school DOS games. Archive.org, I think.
Right. But these are just these games don't require DOS or anything like that. They're all in DOS box, so it just boots up on any rig, which is awesome. You don't have to deal with all the other bullshit. And yeah, I know there's you can just play it in your browser and stuff, but I don't know. I find playing games in the browser kind of annoying.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either. I'm all about that good old games, as you put it. That's where I'm at with it. But yeah, Ultima 8, and this is coming off the back of Ultima 7 being in the Origin Humble Bundle.
Yeah, dude. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'll never get around to playing all those old games.
But at least they lined it up nicely like that.
Exactly.
At least they did that much.
For the
So if
people
you
who
missed
do
one
wanna
of
play
them,
Then you are fucked.
that's for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know.
Christ, we're going through this really fast. All this stuff. Stupid little note. Team Fortress is implementing matchmaking after being out for 8 years.
What does that even mean?
Implementing matchmaking, exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, people will be able to join games with or join a lobby and then go find a match together.
Well, there's supposed to be some type of matching, like, ranking system to it
Oh,
too.
is there?
Yeah, because I mean, you can already do that. Well, you can, like, pick whatever whatever mode you want to play, and then quickly go to that. But yeah, it's supposed to be some sort of matchmaking system, not just a quick match system, because they already have that.
I bet it's because they're trying to still like figure out how the fuck to properly make Team Fortress competitive. They're not selling enough hats anymore.
I don't think you can make Team Fortress competitive. That's just especially now that it's Hat Simulator fucking 2010.
They're just not selling enough hot hats anymore, and they just need to figure out how to make it competitive.
I always find it surprising how many people still play Team Fortress 2. Like, a giant number of people still play that.
It's a stupid game that you can just get on and waste 20 minutes in and not have to worry about anything. I don't know.
Truth to that. But I don't. It's surprising. It's still fun. I still like fucking putting on my hat. I got my Wolfenstein hats last year from Wolfenstein. I just rock that shit. Good stuff, man.
There you go. That's why there's still a huge player base, because Wolfenstein hats.
Wolfenstein pre-order hats, man. Get on the bus.
Nah.
Well, yeah, that's cool. I mean, I really do believe that they're still trying to figure out how to make it a little more competitive than it is, so that they can get some sort. Because honestly, if a game's gonna have any more longevity, they need to figure out how to market it towards esports.
I don't know. It's gotten by 7 years without esports. I think it'll do fine without esports. Not everything needs esports. Sometimes,
If anything, it'll be implemented in the next one.
What esports?
Yeah.
I guarantee you it in Fortress 3.
I have to cut down on the hat jargon, though. I can't see.
Whatever. They handed off Team Fortress 3 to Blizzard. Blizzard's already making it.
Yeah, about that. No.
Pretty much what it is, Ben.
Yeah, but it's not going to be nowhere near the quality, and there's going to be pay-to-win walls, and it's Blizzard, so it's just going to be fucking... Blah. It's not going to be funsies.
Dude, pay-to-win hats.
Yeah, man. Something we talked about previously on the cast, but I wasn't... Not a whole lot of details about it at the time, but Warhammer 40k Regicide is coming to early access next week.
That game is everything I hoped it was going to be.
Like, word for word, when we talked about it last in the cast, I wouldn't mind if it was a dumb chess game, as long as it had horrifyingly brutal animations, and that's like half of the game. Well, it's one of the big game modes.
Yeah, and
it's
like
just chess with brutal fucking executions.
12:30 in the morning, I'm fucking talking to Tim and linking him Star Wars chess videos.
Dude, Vader going ham. Jesus Christ, he's just like, fuck.
Oh man, dude, yeah, just like, and that's not he cuts off like, dude, that game was awesome. Anyways,
it looked it, Palmer.
Back in those days, dude, that game was the best. But yeah, that's exactly what this is, except 50 times more gory, and set in the Warhammer 40k universe, and I could not be happier by that prospect. I will start playing the shit out of some chess if it means that I get to watch Space Marines chainsaw each other to death. I'm 100% on board with that.
And
I've always said tactics needed more gore and blood.
Exactly.
I'm glad
Apparently, developers are
now.
finally listening.
But yeah, there's the chess mode, and then there's basically like an XCOM-ish, just battle mode. Or there's a chess mode where the chess pieces have like, abilities that can, blind and cause misfires or charge or yada yada. It's fucking 40k chess. And then there's regular chess, and then there's like a tactical game in there somewhere. But with recent 40k games, they've always been horrendously overpriced. Like Warhammer 40k Armageddon came out, and I forget what it was a clone. It was a clone of just Tank Commander or some shit. Not Tank Commander, some fucking strategy game that was horribly overpriced, and it was like $40 for basically what could have been like a $5 game. I haven't touched it just because of that alone. It was just so. It looked like a game it could have been from the late 90s, basically, so was not a fan. But I was really expecting this to be like at a $40 price point or something stupid, and it's only going to be at $15. So I am, like, day one, I'm in on this, boys.
Yeah, I'm probably going to pick that up, too.
I mean, it's slow enough where it's like, if it's not terribly great, whatever. It's only $15, and it could be something awesome.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the trailer that I watched for it that featured gameplay footage was pretty cool. Those animations are.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's like the
brutal.
animations.
They're definitely, but the game looks good. It looks crisp. It looks, you know, it's a chess game, so it doesn't really. You're kind of limited there, but it looks pretty goddamn good. I mean,
it doesn't necessarily look like an early access title.
No, not at all.
It looks pretty good. And they've put out a little bit of a roadmap where they're just going to be adding, like, it's just going to start off with the orcs and spasmarins, but eventually they're talking about adding in the Eldar and different other factions.
Now, is that going to be free or paid?
Probably a mixture of both, if it's anything like any 40k game. Usually they do some type of free DLC, and then it's just a plethora of paid bullshit. Yeah. So I'd imagine that's going to be the thing. But if the game's at a $15 price point, I can't see them charging $10 for a faction or some shit like that. Yeah, well, they probably will.
It'll probably be like it would. Well, yeah, honestly, if they're starting with 2, then they're estimating each faction's price at $7.50 since they're giving you factions.
No, Palmer. This is Games Workshop. They're estimating each faction's worth at 10. It's 10. Trust me. I've done the math. But yeah, that'll probably most definitely be a thing. But if it's a fun game, I don't really care because it'll be fun, and it's a shitty game. I'll probably pick it up anyway just because it's 40k, and I can never have too many 40k games in my life.
Yeah, you ride the Games Workshop cock.
I've read 2 40k novels in the past month, so.
Well, there you go.
I'm pretty in on that shit.
Cementing my case.
Oh yeah, all over the Games Workshop cock. Warhammer, Blood Bowl, 40k, just throw it at me, boys.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's going to get riddled with DLC, and I'm going to be fucking upset about is Blood Bowl 2, but again, it's a Games Workshop fucking name, so it's just going to happen.
Well, if it wants to be really true to fucking Warhammer, they'll charge $50 for a codex, a codex, and $300 for terrain. What was it? $50? No, $200 for a Titan. I think that's the cheapest one I found to mess with your army.
No, that's probably not even the licensed. Licensed Titans go for like $400.
What the fuck, dude? There's the reason I
remember
some shit goes for like thousands. Like you can like $1,000 for like one of the biggest.
I remember almost going balls deep on 40k only because of the enthusiasm that Tim showed for that fucking universe franchise
5 years ago when we ran that game.
Yeah, you were like promising the world with this game, and it was pretty fun. But like I spent the weekend making like just terrain. I watched YouTube videos of dudes making just cool stuff, and I made shitty terrains, and I was gonna buy like a huge fucking like robot mech thing just to like mess with Tim's game. But then I realized how fucking expensive that hobby is.
Yeah, that's why I'm not in it terribly. I'm always it's something to dip your toes like in the water to. It's nothing you want to jump right into because you will just lose all the monies in the world.
Absolutely.
But it makes for a great fucking setting for like any like books or fucking video games, just some type of shit like that.
It is a fantastic universe that they've set up with both the original Warhammer and 40k.
Yeah, both Warhammer.
They did a great job with both of them.
Yeah, so it's always something I'm happy to see show up in video game form because
When are we going to play your RPG?
Dark Heresy. I think I'm like fifth of the way through the rule book. So I started reading the first edition, then I started reading the second edition because that came out last year. So, and I'm basically reading the same book. I'm sure there's like 3 differences that I could have just looked up on a Wikipedia somewhere, but no, I'm reading the second book. And that's in addition to all the other shit I'm reading. I'm currently in a Darksiders novel. I don't know why, but I am. Like
a Darksiders novel?
Yeah, there's a Darksiders novel. So
weren't you working on that last month?
Yeah, I put it down because it's not terribly good, and I'm trying to finish it. I'm halfway through it, and I'm just like, fuck, just get through it. Like, video games or books, I don't care how shitty they are. If I get a few hours into it, I'll just fuck it. I'll just plow through it. But yes, there is a Darksiders novel, and yes, it's not terribly interesting or good, but it does exist. I was more just confused, excited, and just horrified that it actually existed, more so than I actually wanted to read it. Just who the fuck would have thought? Gmod Idiot Box 15 is out. It's something we've actually not touched on the show before. I've been a fan of this series for 6-ish years now. It's called Gary's Mod Idiot Box. He started doing them back in 2008, 2009, and he was knocking them out like one every couple months. But in the past like few years, 5 years even, he's basically done like one or two a year. So they're very, very. You don't see them very often, much anymore. But when they do come out, they're fucking hilarious. He touches on Nintendo with the whole YouTube thing. He'll touch on current games that are kind of popular on the internets and the Reddits. It's just always good stuff. So if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, when you're done watching this, go to YouTube and pop in Gmod Idiot Box and just plow through that whole fucking series. Because if you're into games, it is fucking hilarious.
You should just put the link in chat.
I could, but I won't.
Good.
Dude, and after you watch that, watch RB and the Chief.
RB and the Chief. That was. I think that came back, or that was coming back, or something. But I haven't looked into it. Yeah, like the guy sold his rights to it or some shit, and then he got it back, something like that. But
did he get sued after he accepted money for, like, not his assets?
I don't know. It's possible. But fuck, RB and the Chief was good. That was some good shit. I don't know. That might be up. One thing I wanted to touch on that we completely forgot about last time, our last show, was we pretty much ranted about mods for an hour, and I don't want to bring that back up, but I just want to point out we forgot to point out some of the mods that popped up on the Nexus in light of the recent events and discussions and whatnot that you could actually implement in your game. Anything from like a mod that just like the fucking weapon. It's just a sign. It says no paid mods, but it acts as a sword. So you can impale people with it. The animation looks really weird and janky just because you're impaling someone with a fucking protester sign. There's mods where it just completely takes all the Imperials out of the game and just breaks it. There are mods where if you've ever played Skyrim, when you start off in a fucking horse carriage and you're fucking going to the town.
For 20 minutes, you wait for your head to get cut off.
Some guy made a mod where it was just Gaben's face blocking the doorway, and it said 75% off. And you just could not proceed, and the horse kept walking into the Gaben face, and the game just broke. It was just, stupid shit like that has popped up on the Nexus. And this is from days ago, so I imagine even more stupid shit has popped up. I mean, even shit to, like, kill Lord Gaben, where someone made Gaben in the game, and you just walk up to him, and the quest is to kill him. I think he says, just, please kill me. I ruined PC gaming, or something like that.
Oh, man.
So, like, if you do fuck around with Nexus mods, and you're, this whole thing is just fucking tickled your fancy, you should definitely look into that shit.
Another quick thing that we touched on we talked about it last time, but we didn't find out some recent news until just after the podcast or the live cast was over. So apparently Konami is disbanding its company. So
is that official?
Yeah, that's official. So they haven't really said anything else. It's been delisted off the Nasdaq. So it's no longer open to stockholders. I don't know if it's official, but that seems to be pretty much the only thing that could be a result of this. Like they wouldn't delist themselves without getting prepared to liquidate.
No, don't companies usually file for Chapter 11 and then restructure and then come back?
Right, but have they filed?
I don't know how it works in Japan.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm sure it's just fucking wanky.
Konami America would still have to file. Like, they have an American company that would have to follow those rules. So yeah, it may not be the same in Japan, but we'd have to see something coming out of Konami America. So basically, the question I have for you guys is say they are preparing to liquidate. Say they are preparing to get rid of their assets. What companies would you guys like to see pick up some of their bigger franchises?
Konami's one of those companies where I don't really have much love for them nowadays. Like they remind me of like the '90s, honestly. Like Castlevania and Metal Gear Solid. Like the last Metal Gear Solid I played was the fucking PlayStation 1 version, which I think was just Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah,
like I never played with any of the older ones, so really I don't really care, honestly. They like I've been meaning to check out the newer iterations of the Castlevania series, but they're very mixed things. I hear either they're decent or they're terrible. I've never heard
Are
someone.
you talking about the third-person stuff that they did?
Yeah, like the newer ones. I've never heard someone say
I
like
played
these
some
games
of
are fantastic.
the first one. It was okay.
Yeah, they're
It had a
they're
few
God of
quick
War
time.
ripoffs. They're
Yeah.
they're kind of like what the fuck was the book that you're Darksiders, in the sense that it's just like a massive God of War ripoff. But they're okay. I mean, they're all right.
They made a fighter on the Wii. Well, I don't know who developed it, but I think Konami published it, and they made like a weird Castlevania fighter on the Wii, which was
Really?
kind of
Castlevania
fun.
Fighter on the Wii.
Huh. That's interesting. Well, what about you, Jose? What do you want to see, or who do you want to see purchase up some of these IPs if Konami is indeed going under?
Dude, Telltale should pick up Contra.
You want
I would-
Telltale?
I would really like to see that now. I'm gonna say that would
What
be.
are you envisioning with a Telltale Contra game?
What can't you envision with a Telltale?
Yeah, seriously, I will leave it up to their fucking like tried and true hands.
Okay.
They know what they're doing.
That's you got me way off guard with that one. I got to admit. All right. What else? What
I'm
else?
not even. That wasn't even a joke. I think that would just be fucking crazy.
Yeah, I would actually like
And
to see
amazing.
that.
Yeah, that could be very interesting. I mean, honestly, Contra's never been a game I've played for the story, so I have no idea what's going on
Dude,
story-wise.
it's like
That's
it's
always
like
just been a
two.
bullet hell game for me.
That game came out when like I'm sure some war was going on somewhere, Gulf War or something, because they're just like two army mans, and then they go through a level killing dudes on platforms, and then they fight giant mechs and weird space aliens. There's an awesome story back there somewhere, hidden in all that stuff.
All right. What else?
Let's see, what else do they make?
Well, I mean, they do.
What else have they?
Obviously, they do Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear and like Castlevania.
Yeah, Castlevania.
Those are my
Actually,
two
so
big
what
ones.
about Suikoden? Who could you see rebirthing that franchise? Honestly, I'd like to see that go to Obsidian. I think Obsidian would do a goddamn good job with Suikoden. That could be very interesting. I don't see. Tim, you've never played any of the Suikoden games, right?
Not that I know. I might have. I don't know. It's not ringing a bell off the top of my head.
It's like it was. 2 was kind of like the high point, I guess, of the series for most people, and that was out on like PlayStation 1. God damn, that game was. Looking at a list of Konami franchises right now. Yeah, we have Police Knots. Here. I'm trying to get to the more recent stuff.
Even Farsendor is saying Konami doesn't matter to him. Like, I'm right there with you, bud.
Yeah, they haven't been really relevant except for the big game that comes around every couple of years.
They did Dance Dance Revolution.
They do a bunch of arcade games still, like in the Japan.
In the Japan.
Yeah, they have all over the Dance Dance Revolutions.
Drum Mania.
Sounds awful.
Drum Mania. Oh, what about Pro Evolution Soccer? Who wants Pro Evolution Soccer to be taken over? Actually, that's like
EA
that's a
will take it and
huge.
ruin
That's
it.
a huge. No, EA already has FIFA.
Exactly. They need that one too. So
They
they
need
can have the
that one
market.
too.
They need the market
There's a lot of
control.
people that love Pro Evolution Soccer, man. There's a lot of people that play that. That's a huge game in Europe. That and FIFA are like 2 of the top selling games in Europe. So that would be another big one. It would be interesting to see like 2K or something pick that up. Well, I guess okay, can't really.
Yeah, EA Sports.
EA Sports.
It's in the game.
Yeah, I don't know. You said earlier, Jose, you wanted Castlevania to go to Nintendo, right?
Yeah, I mean, they've. I don't know if it's like really synonymous with Nintendo, but all like the best Castlevania games have been for like NES or Super NES.
I don't know.
In my opinion.
PS1, man.
Oh, Symphony of the Night.
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all about that Super Nintendo Castlevania.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Super Nintendo hosted some amazing Castlevania games.
Yeah, if that became first party and Nintendo just embraced it, I think the franchise could come back like ridiculously stronger.
Okay, what about Silent Hill, guys?
It's another one I only played I love the first one. I played the first one. Fucking David won't shut up about how great the second one is. I played a little bit of it.
Significantly better.
Nah, I played the second one. I fucking first one for life, bro. But I never played three. I never played any. I never played any after two.
Homecoming wasn't bad. That was like a lot of people said that was like I don't know, the next peak of the series. I never played it. What about Homecoming was so appealing?
They added like good combat relatively, and it made sense for it to be, for there to be like decent combat in the game because you play like a Marine coming home.
Okay.
It stayed like super true to the feel and like the whole psychological edge to the franchise, and it was just a really good game in the series, and it wasn't made by who makes the series? I guess Konami? Do they develop it? They're not just publishers, I guess they're okay. So yeah, they I think it was
developed by Vatra Games and published by Konami.
I think they're like a Swedish game maker, if I remember right. But they did a really good job, and I was like, maybe the series should like go in other directions. I know that there was another one that came out for like the Vita.
There's been a number of different developers because Double Helix developed Homecoming.
Shattered Memories, I think.
Ties?
That was also another.
Actually, no, it was the original ones were developed by Konami Digital Entertainment.
Yeah.
Best Silent Hills.
Well, I mean, like we touched about this, well, hold on, real quick segue. Did you guys hear about the PlayStation 4s that are being listed on eBay for like $1,000?
I saw that. What was it, for a demo or something?
Yeah. So the PT demo got pulled down from the PlayStation Store because it's no longer, or it's been canceled or whatever. And for some reason, they're just like, we're gonna pull down the PT thing, even though it's like one of the greatest experiences on PS4. So people starting today can no longer download it. So it's taking the Flappy Bird route, and people with their fucking PS4s that have it downloaded on there are selling their PS4s for $1,000 on eBay because you can't download it anymore.
Just makes all the sense.
People did it for when Flappy Bird got pulled off the App Store. People were selling their iPhones and their fucking Android phones for thousands of dollars on eBay because of one shitty little fucking mobile game.
People are fucking stupid. That's what I'm learning from all this. Generally speaking, people are just fucking stupid.
Yeah. So, I guess as far as the Silent Hill series goes, who do you think would be able to do that the most justice, especially considering PT was such a hit? You think they should just let You think they should just let Hideo Kojima just take over that franchise? I don't know what he's going to be doing or who he's going to be partnering with to publish his games, but his studio is still going to remain, I'm sure.
I mean, I think half the reason that game got the awesome reception was because it looked so freaking good.
Oh God,
did it? And I think he owns like the Fox engine, the rights to the Fox engine, so it would make absolute sense to give it to him and Kojima Productions. But as long as we're playing crazy hypotheticals, they should give Silent Hill to the guy that made Five Nights at Freddy's. Simply because they're just going to make a shit ton of money. Yeah. That series ended, I think, right?
Did it? Because didn't they release like 4 of them like within the span
They're doing
of, like,
another
3 months?
one. Yeah, they're doing another one.
Are they?
Apparently, it's the final chapter. Because fuck knows we need more Five Nights at Freddy's games. If Silent Hill's
is it the
fucking
5th Night at Freddy's? Is that what this one's?
If fucking Five Nights at Freddy's even touches Silent Hill, I will just burn everything in the world. I'll ignite the atmosphere.
But you just said you don't care, Tim.
Well, I would care if it turned into a stupid jump scare fucking game.
Oh.
That I would care of. I haven't
PT
played
was
any Silent
an
Hill past
awesome
2,
jump
but I
scare
know they
game.
weren't fucking jump scary, or at least reliant only on jump scare. It relied on atmosphere and fucking story and structure and character development.
Yeah.
Fucked my camera.
Yeah, I finally got around to downloading PT today, right before they pulled it off the store. So I'm gonna be streaming that later.
There.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna stream this and then probably list my PlayStation up on eBay. No, I can't. Like, I was thinking about it, and then I realized, well, the only way people will be able to play that game is if they have access to my PSN account, and I can't lose those trophies. It's not happening. I can't lose those fucking trophies.
It could be going for $1 million, and that asshole wouldn't do it.
Nope.
And I don't blame him.
Nope.
I'd be right there with them if something happened on the Xbox.
I refuse. I absolutely refuse. They'll have to pry that from my cold dead hands. But yeah, I will definitely be streaming that later. Probably tomorrow, actually. Because from what I understand, it only takes a couple hours to go. So it's a piss your pants terrifying experience.
Farsendar is saying you can still steal the download from the demo store.
Oh, can you? Okay.
Apparently.
Well, people have their ways.
Trust Farsendar. We'll just trust him on that one.
And it's you pay for it, right? It's not a free download.
Huh?
It's not a free download.
It is a free download.
It is? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore. Well, maybe. Apparently
now
not.
You have to pay $1,000.
Yeah. You have to buy it. It's fantastic.
Yeah. But I've been also, speaking of Silent Hill, continuing the Silent Hill rants, I've been reading so much about how this is all just one massive marketing ploy. People. There's a lot of people who are speculating that like all this cancellation stuff with the Silent Hills, not what's going on with Konami. Whatever's going on with Konami is definitely, but people have been saying that all this cancellation nonsense is just to renew interest in the project, and so when they get back together and say, Kojima finally picked up the Silent Hills rights and the game's back in production, everybody's gonna piss their pants with excitement.
They will. If that's what they're doing, kudos to them, because that's exactly what's gonna happen.
So I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously all this stuff's unsubstantiated rumors that I'm reading on /VG on 4chan, but fucking
dude, 4chan it is truth.
But it could if good on them if that ends up being what they do with that, holy shit, the entire gaming community will it will unite in uproar about how excited they are. So I don't know. Here's the hoping.
That's a nice
keep the fire alive. Jesus. Keep the fire alive.
I don't know. Gaming recently is any indicator. Just fucking don't go home with hope.
Yeah.
It's how you should live your life. Just fuck everything. Nothing matters.
Yep.
Except for Star Citizen. GG. All they ever do.
Jesus Christ.
Throw a Ranger t-shirt. Get on the bus. Any pressing topics you gentlemen wish to bring up, or maybe Farsendor?
I do want to touch on the sale that PlayStation has going on right now. Up on the PSN store.
Are they doing a Star Wars sale as well, like every other fucking outlet ever?
No, they're doing I think it's called the Golden Sale or something like that. So it's nothing but Japanese
Golden
games. And it's nothing but Japanese games. And there's been some ones that I've been waiting for.
More cooking simulators?
Oh god, all the cooking simulators, Tim. No, this one's a proper fighter. I'm so excited. But anyways, if you have a Vita or PlayStation 4, do yourself a favor and check some of these out. The Resident Evil HD re-release is up on the PSN store for a decent price. And there's a few other ones too, so do yourself a favor and check that out if you're part of the Sony ecosystem. There's a bunch of stuff on there that I promise will not disappoint you. Let's see here. So I sent out a tweet earlier today asking people to send in questions. We got a couple literally meaning two. One's from Farsendor. And the question that he sent in was, let's see here. What do you guys think of the state of console gaming in Japan, and do you think it can recover? That's actually a really good question. So basically, since you guys don't really pay attention to the whole console market anymore, console gaming in Japan seems to be fluctuating towards nothing but mobile stuff. So people tend to be playing games on their cell phones. Consoles are dying. Even the PlayStation doesn't sell very well there. And that's because everybody's playing on mobile mobile phones that are years ahead of what we've got here in the States. So I don't know. I don't know that it's something that can recover. I don't know that the Japanese people really want it to recover. I don't know. It seems like if they have the type of ecosystem that they have in terms of mobile gaming, then why switch back? Because they've actually got like full-fledged mobile games, full-fledged platforms on some of these um, mobile devices. So I mean, it's interesting. I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on any of this?
Mm, I'm a bit of a Japanophile,
Just
and
a little bit.
I'm a slight. And even like on the popular in Japan YouTube channel, it's all mobile game highlights or just let's plays. I don't know the numbers, but I think Palmer is absolutely right. It all leans towards mobile, handheld. Uh, Makes sense. Um, and if anything, like I think just like the absolute failure of competition with like the Xbox in Japan has like I think that itself really like hurt console gaming
Yeah,
there.
I feel like it's stagnated the market a bit. Because really, you've really only got what Sony and Nintendo having any sort of prominence, and Nintendo pretty much dominates with the 3DS. Uh, and Sony does okay from what I understand with the Vita. It's still like pretty lukewarm reception there, but it sells a lot better than it does here in the States. Um, which makes sense. I mean, the Vita is clearly doing nothing but releasing titles that really identify with the Japanese core audience. There's not a whole lot of what I like. Western developers tried for a little while on the Vita, and every one of them was a massive failure. Granted, Western developers really released a lot of crap on the Vita. The Call of Duty game they released on the Vita was awful. The Resistance game was awful. Um, God, what else? I mean,
They did a 40K game, Squad Command, I think it was called, for PS. Well, I guess PSP before the PS Vita, but that was really fun. That
hmm,
came out like 07, 08, somewhere around there.
hmm.
But yeah, I had a PSP for a while, and there were definitely some fun games. Like when the PSP, like the first few years it was around, the SOCOM games were fucking.
Oh god, the SOCOM games were
Like I
awesome.
remember just lying in bed, half awake, half intoxicated, just playing SOCOM online with people, and back in like 2005 or something, which nowadays it's with tablets and phones and shit like that's nothing out. It's really nothing out of the ordinary. But 10 years ago, that was really fucking cool to be fucking half drunk, half awake, playing SOCOM with some dude in fucking Japan, having
Yes,
like 300 ping. Fantastic.
Zipper developed a game for Unit 13. That's what it was. Pretty much fucking SOCOM for the Vita. And that shit was so much fun. It played so well. I think multiplayer is pretty much all but dead on that at this point. But I mean, Western developers just had so many misses. I mean, the Borderlands port was awful.
Was it?
Um,
Because I was gonna bring that up. I remember that was ported to Vita.
Yeah, and I mean like awesome that they actually did it, that they listened to the community and did it, but apparently from what I understand, like there's parts where like the frame rate just goes to shit, and there's like a quarter of the enemies that are in the actual game. Uh,
Really?
yeah, apparently like the
Oh.
areas feel really big and empty on Vita because there's not like the Vita just can't support rendering all those enemies at once. So that was kind of neutered. Really, the only successful Western title on the Vita was the Killzone Mercenaries game, and if it wasn't for trophies, I don't think I would have finished the campaign on that. But the multiplayer was awesome, and I think that actually still has a relatively robust community. Uh, but the one thing that really limited that and pissed a lot of Vita gamers off was the fact that the game was so fucking big that you had to have and Vita's memory cards are ridiculously expensive. Um,
Is a proprietary thing. It's not like
yeah,
a micro
yeah,
SD.
it's not. It's a proprietary thing, and Sony just upcharged the shit out of those, dude. It's like $90 for a 30 gig um, card, which is just obscene. Get like a micro SD 30 gig card for $20,
Yeah, somewhere around there.
something like that.
Maybe even lower, honestly.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
lower
I've
than
seen it way lower.
so that it when Killzone came out, the game came out at I think like 9 gigs or something like that. And so right off the bat, you had to have like a mid-size memory card, and then people realized after buying it that there was like a 4 gigabyte patch that contained all of the multiplayer. So a lot of people bought that game and then couldn't even run it because they didn't have enough space on their memory card.
That is
to be able to do
fantastic.
it. So like it was just one of those things where like Western devs just kept fucking up on Vita releases. So it became one of those things where it's nothing but people who are willing to trudge through trying to find the gems in some of these Eastern releases. So there's still a lot of really good stuff on there. The one thing on the sale that I would recommend wholeheartedly for Vita purchases is the Senran Kagura game. The cooking one not so much, but the fighting game is fucking great. And at that price point, that game has not gone on sale once. So absolutely pick it up on at that price point because it's totally worth it.
How much are Vitas going for these days?
I think you can pick a used one up off eBay for let's Vita.
I also want to point out, Saved by Christ wants. I'm certain someone's asked us this at some point, but Saved by Christ wants to know what our favorite Nintendo 64 game was.
Man, you're gonna have to give me a minute on that.
I'm pretty sure we've been posed this question, and we came up with the GoldenEye, Mario 64, Mario Party, Mario Kart. A lot of Mario
Dark
titles.
64.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'd say GoldenEye over that any day.
You can pick up a used Vita, Wi-Fi only for $133.99.
How much are they new? Aren't they only like a couple $100, something like that?
New. Well, I think they're like $399 new. No, you can pick up a bundle pack from Best Buy for $199. And that's the Borderlands 2 limited edition bundle.
The Vita, I don't know if it was called the Vita. The PSP, I'm just going to say PSP because that's what I fucking know them as. They kind of confused me for a while because they did the PSP, which was just a tremendous fucking failure. It's righteously so, it should have been. But then didn't they do like a phone PSP after that?
Wasn't that the Go?
No, the Go was the one where you could just you couldn't use UMDs. I think that's what they were called. You couldn't use the actual like little discs. You had to download it onto the thing. And they didn't have like a tremendous amount of hard drive space, so you couldn't have a bunch of games downloaded, so it kind of didn't exactly work. Or it didn't, I don't know, it didn't sell nowhere near what they wanted to, honestly. But I remember there being a phone version of the PSP.
I also remember it.
Yeah, and that just threw me off for a while.
And I just realized that the other tweet that we got wasn't actually a tweet, it was just a retweet of what I tweeted by a person. So, we only had that one question.
Fair enough.
But yeah, in the future, like I feel like we should get some sort of crowd interaction even when we're not broadcasting. So in the future, tweet us your questions. Let us know what.
I like the current interaction. Parson Dorje.
Yeah, no. I mean, I like it. I like it too. But
damn, shots fired, boys. Jose's standing up.
I like it too, but it would be nice to have some other interaction as well. I
just want to point out there were a lot of good Super Nintendo or even early PC games for 64 that were like Doom 64. Like, how do you not love that? Hexen, the Quake. I think Quake 2. I don't know if Quake 1 was actually a cartridge, but I remember one Quake being a cartridge. A lot of those old PC games made it to 64, and those were a tremendous amount of because you got to keep in mind a lot of the stuff was just couch gaming. Like I'd invite friends over when I was fucking stupid 10-year-old and just fucking GoldenEye, 4 of us be GoldenEyeing it up, and it's all on the same screen. You would pretend like you wouldn't look over at like where your friends were, and they wouldn't look over at you. But obviously, everyone knew where everyone was. So there were just these fucking standoffs, and then immediate like bullet exchanges, and then it went quiet for a while.
You never taped a cardboard to the individual squares?
We did the blanket thing once, where you split the TV up with a blanket, but then the person on the bottom can only see like a third of the screen, and just whines about it for hours on end.
I bought the Hexen collection when it came out on Steam a while back. Game does not hold up very well.
Really?
Yeah.
I still have my cartridge of that. I remember that being tremendous amounts of fun.
I loved that game, but then I remembered I played it on a CRT TV because the resolution is like postage stamp sized. Playing it on a fucking like modern monitor is pretty shite,
Yeah.
at least. And it kind of handles like ass. Maybe I can't handle DOSBox. Maybe I don't have good enough specs on my god tier computer.
And chat saying GoldenEye, Harvest Moon was another popular one. Mario Kart
Fucking-
64, GoldenEye.
Fucking
Ocarina of Time.
Blast
Blast
Corps.
Corps.
Last course, yeah,
Blast
dude.
Corps was awesome, man. That game was like one of them. It was
Pilot
like
Wings. No, fuck that. Pilot.
Yeah,
Pilot Wings.
Pilot Wings, dude, was great too. Pilot Wings.
No,
was
Army
fucking
Men, Swords as
fantastic.
Heroes. Come on, boys.
Oh,
That was
Army
good,
Men,
too.
thanks. There
Wait
we
a minute,
go.
what was that rare game where you took on like alien, like ants?
Alien Storm?
Jet
Force.
Jet Force something.
Gemini?
Jet Force Gemini. Jet Force Gemini.
Yep.
That was. Fuck.
Right? Yeah, dude, Jet Force Gemini was the
It was
shit.
ants. They were blue ants. You
Yeah,
just
man.
kept slaughtering blue ants.
Dude, that was great. That game
Like
was
the
awesome.
gib physics, you could like decapitate them with a fucking railgun. Like, oh, come on.
Let's all take a second here to just view this box art because best.
I think I still have the cartridge
Blitz
too. Like I
game
still
for
love
the
these.
NBA Jam game.
NBA Jam was Super Nintendo. They might have done a 64 port though. But NBA Jam was definitely Super Nintendo. They've done a port on every fucking system for the past like decade. It wouldn't surprise me if they did one for 64.
Oh man, get ready, chat. Get ready, chat.
Pick that
This
shit
box
up.
art's about to blow you away as soon as the chat loads.
Like you can get NBA Jam
Best.
on Amazon now. Like Amazon.
Best. Yeah, man. Let's all remember the Jet Force Gemini box art. Anyways, yeah, those are some of my favorites. I don't know. I can't really think. I'm sure there's something out there that like is blatantly obvious that we're missing. But
Your
I think
link is
GoldenEye
there.
was one last time, and we all eventually picked up on that.
Mm.
Yeah, just GoldenEye, Mario 64. Really, that was I think everyone.
I still play Mario 64 at least
yeah, that
once
game's
a
just
year.
fun.
Just for the soundtrack alone. That has one of the best soundtracks in my opinion to any game in the history of games
Very
development.
iconic. Yeah.
But yeah, that's about all I wanted to bring up for tonight. You guys got anything?
No, I think we are good. I do want to point out we have our first donation, boys.
Oh, really?
Saved by Christ or Ben
Nice.
has kicked us $1 so we can split a beer.
Fucking awesome, man.
So thank you very
so
much, Ben.
Thank you so
You will
much.
live in immortality. I think he was also one of our, if not our first followers. so.
I believe he was, so awesome to see you
Nice.
come full circle. Thanks
It's nice
so
to see you
much.
back in chat too.
Yeah, man. Long time no see. You've missed sorely.
So thank you for that. And I do want to point out next week we're going to be doing our normal 2 episodes, but I'm thinking there was a huge Dota patch that changed the game
Oh, yeah.
significantly. This
You
happens
guys
like
would not shut up about that.
Be
Yeah.
prepared for Dota episode on Monday.
yeah, we're looking to do it Monday. We're probably going to
bring
have
Kerbin back.
we're going to have Kerbin. We're probably going to have another guy. We're going to at least 4 of us
Yeah, there's
are going
at
to be
least 4
talking
of
about
us.
this. So yeah, we're probably going to be doing it the whole episode. If you're not into Dota, I'm sure we can explain some of the stuff along the way. But yeah, it's a huge game-changing patch. This
Absolutely
happens. It happens about once a year with Dota in the past few years. I've noticed.
And
Like,
I'm
about,
totally okay with it.
yeah, about once or twice a year they add new stuff. They change a lot of stuff, and all of the people we will have on, there'll be at least 4 of us. All of us will have over 1,500 hours into Dota at least. So
all of us will have.
I
closer
probably
to
won't be here
2,000
for
hours.
that, but I'll probably be in chat. So prepare to
Yeah.
get trolled if you look over to
oh
the
yeah,
right a bit.
I'd imagine so. I expect a
I'd
little troll
expect
from chat
nothing
from time
less,
to time. Yeah.
Just from the guy who can't fucking play through tutorials.
Because the game stops working
Okay.
in 2015. You try to skip a fucking game tutorial, and it just crashes
gets
on you.
so
Refuses to
mad.
work.
He gets so mad.
I've
Jesus.
never seen anyone get so upset over such a stupid thing. Even Palmer, and he gets upset over the stupidest of things.
Oh,
Like I
God.
play it up a bit, but I whenever I see a tutorial in a game that I think is unneeded, it makes me feel like, hey, you're dumb. Learn how to play a game. You don't use your critical thinking brain, your human adult brain.
Yeah, but it's not
Like-
like you're very familiar with MOBAs.
but then
or anything.
That is besides the point. Like, you don't really need to be to like understand what the concepts are, and if you want to be like competent, I guess you can take a tutorial to learn an individual character. but the concept is still there, especially with Smite, which seems like the easiest of the MOBAs.
That's pretty good.
And at least on my computer,
it's no,
like whenever
Here's some
here's a term, so casual.
well, anyway, maybe it's just like on my end, but like I tried to skip the tutorial on Smite, and it was like, don't do that. We'll give you crap if you play the tutorial. Like, no, I don't want to. So I hit no, and then it crashes.
Yeah, I
Load it
don't
up again,
understand
it
why you
crashes,
can't
load
take
it
2
up,
minutes
crashes.
out of your life how to learn how to properly play something. But that's just me. I'm just stupid.
It's-
Forgive me, Jose.
It's
We're
fucking
just.
Smite. It would have required 5 minutes of your time.
I don't even think it would take that long.
5 minutes. I rather play the game than I have no interest in like MOBAs. So, you know,
like
if I can skip
Bloodsports,
the
though,
tutorial,
I will say that.
that was fun as hell.
Yeah,
but I don't think that
Bloodsports
was
is
very,
more. Yeah, it's more Diablo-esque
Yeah.
than MOBA-esque.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for tuning in. We will be back Monday. As I said, we'll be doing a Dota patch cast. So you regulars that tune in, that's what we will be talking about. But we'll have we'll have Kerbin back, and we'll have at least one new face. So there'll be a couple new faces, and then
it might actually be a 5-person cast on.
Yeah,
Jose, if you do want to stick around, we can make it a 5-person cast. That's no problem.
so he can just talk around and
you can just
shit
sit
all
there
over
and
patch
everybody
notes.
can stare
Contribute
at your
less.
beautiful face.
Horrible.
But yeah, we'll be doing the typical show on Wednesday again that you're seeing now. Where it's just us three yelling at each other, and it's
Yeah.
good time.
And one of these
Absolutely.
days, we'll actually play a game on this video game
maybe.
broadcasting
No,
service called Twitch.
it's like a forever tease thing. It's like the Russian girl that's locked away in that stream.
She bought her freedom.
Yeah, she bought her freedom, and now no
You know,
one cares.
Twitch saves lives.
Tearing me apart, Lisa.
All right. Well, yeah, that wraps off episode 17. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Gonna go through the regular spiel. You got Tim on the left there. Follow
Drums.
twitch.tv/Logan703 and on Twitter @Logan703. Got Cad down at the bottom.
On bass.
Jose, yeah, he's a slapping the bass. Twitch.tv/Cad_007 and @Cad007. And you got me, myself, and I. Follow me on twitch.tv/Sturmsworth and @Sturmsworth. Yeah, in the meantime, over the weekend, keep the questions flowing. If we stumble upon a hot topic and you guys want us to talk about it, let us know via the tweeters. You can use hashtag DMM and ask a question. Other than that, thanks for tuning in, everybody. And we will see everybody for the DotaCast on Monday. Thanks.
Peace.